Hello, hello. Today, death is afoot. Today we're going to be playing what should be about a 5-hour game. It's a silly point-click game in a Sherlock Holmes kind of esque way. It's called Lord Winklebottom Investigates. It's supposed to be silly, I don't know. All I know really mainly about it is a point-click style game. Speech, but okay, everything looks fine here. Alright, let's go ahead and start.
Oh my god, he's dead! The master's dead!
Well, that started off quickly.
Well then, Frumple, that was quite the case, wasn't it?
Oh, indeed so. Already made the evening edition, don't you know? I picked up a copy when I went to buy the boat ticket. We'll be quite the heroes, I think.
Hopefully they don't dwell too much on the part where one of the Weasel gang cracked you over the head with a pool cue and nearly made off with all the gold, eh?
Huh, wretched blighter caught me from behind. Just not cricket, is it?
Still, all worked out in the end, my friend, and just in time too, as you have this party with Admiral Gilfrey to attend.
Look, who is this chap anyway, Winklebottom?
Oh, Gilfrey's an old school friend of mine, top of his class, went on to become an admiral, then latterly undertook a number of privately funded expeditions to all 4 corners of the globe.
Bit of a swat then, eh? We had no time for his sort at my school.
Evidently so, my friend. Right, let's get this boat ticket and be on our way. Where is the ticket anyway, Frumple?
Oh, I slipped it into the newspaper for safekeeping.
Now, is there like an option to stop him from... there. Okay. I want to control the advancement text, so... Yeah.
Ah, do you remember this case?
Hawks and Fox gang, wasn't it? Made a mint selling forgeries of famous works of art, until you stepped in.
That's right. Kept this one as a souvenir. It's a reproduction of the goat with a pearl earring. You know, we really must replace this waste paper bin. It's starting to look rather ragged.
Yes, and whose fault is that? Don't know why you keep buying these straw ones. You know you can't resist a nibble when you're peckish.
As I say, we should replace it. Yeah, it's a nice new straw basket, I think. Any ideas, old thing?
I put the tickets in the newspaper for safekeeping.
Okay, so that apparently lets them talk to each other.
Winklebottom cracks the case. A touch sensational, but they appear to have got most of the salient facts correct.
Never mind all that. What do they say about me?
Ah, well, let me see. Yes, here it is. Lord Winklebottom was assisted, as ever, by his associate, Mr. Frumple.
Mister? Dash it all, I didn't spend 8 years in medical school to be called Mister. Bunch of bloody hacks.
Well, never mind that now, old boy. We have to get going if we're to catch this boat before nightfall.
No, I'm quite vexed now. I shan't leave until I've had a fresh cup of tea to calm me down. This one's practically tepid.
Oh, very well. I'll make you a fresh cup. The pot should be ready now. Ah, here's the ticket. I'll keep hold of this for now.
Note. There's met. That's that. Milk, tea.
I'll take this. Good for the old bones, you know.
Items you pick up can be found in the inventory.
I've put the milk in the cup. Now to pour some out for the good doctor. And in with the tea. Here you are then, a nice fresh cup of tea.
Ah, that's much better. I say, this tastes a bit off. Did you put the milk in first or something?
Ah, was that wrong?
Wrong? Wrong. What sort of animal do you think I am?
A most fine one, my friend. Come along, we need to be off. The ticket says we are to meet a Mr. Walters at the docks, and he'll sail us out to Gilfrey's Island.
Oh, very well. I suppose this will have to do. Milk first, I ask you.
I wouldn't see why it would matter much.
Ah, just smell that salty sea air. Takes me back to my childhood holidays on the coast with Gilfrey. Even then you could tell the old boy was destined for a life on the waves.
Don't much care for it myself. Went on a ghastly school trip to Blackpool as a lad. I tried to go for a donkey ride. Donkey was furious. He told me I was too heavy. Wretched fellow.
Well, never mind that now, old boy. We need to find the docks and this salty Walters chap who's going to take us over to Gilfrey's Island.
If you're not sure what to do... Okay.
One of the old English kings lost his head in the Great Frog War, if I remember my history.
Careless, if you ask me.
Let me in, you bleeding crooked canine. Hello, sir. Sorry, in a bit of a jam here.
Good day to you, sir.
Bleeding well isn't a good day. That reprobate Walters has locked me out of my own pub. I do apologise, sir. Shouldn't take it out on you like, but he's going to drink me out of business if I don't get back in there to stop him.
Indeed so, quite the predicament. So this is your establishment, I take it?
Indeed so, sir. Used to be my father's, but I took it over as the oldest of the litter. We do a good trade, serving the sailors and dock workers, even if we have to put up with less savoury characters from time to time.
I say, Winklebottom, I do hope he's not talking about the chap who's meant to sail us out to the island.
Can we help you get the door open? I'm rather afraid I have business with this Walters fella.
He's bleeding well gone and locked the door from the inside. And my spare key's in my bedroom on the top floor. How am I meant to get up there?
Sounds rather like your forte, what?
I do have a certain talent for retrieving things from high places, yes.
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, sir. It's the window on the right up there. Not the left one. That leads to the hallway and we had it sealed up, as it lets a proper terrible draught in right through the pub. We catch our death if you open that one.
Ah, pearls for a swine. Lord Winklebottom committing common larceny? Most certainly not.
Oh wait, no. So that's interesting. It gives you the option to interact with stuff and tell you like new.
Oh. Well, I can see them, but they're rather frustratingly out of reach.
Okay, then we need something to get to them.
I'm not quite sure what I want this for, but want it I do.
Picking up litter, eh? Very public-spirited.
A number of wooden barrels. They all seem to be sealed up and in use.
I don't really see the bottles helping us. Let's check the dock.
Let's take this with us, just in case.
Oh, it's fine if it's laying on the ground.
You know, Vrumple, we might be able to make use of this saw.
Blimey, not the friendliest chap, is he?
Excuse me, sir, would you mind... I say, there's really no need for that.
Fearsome looking blighter, I'm giving well away.
Okay, won't bother to talk to us.
I say, old chap, a moment of your time. Greetings, my good man.
Good day to you. What can I do for you?
I have a ticket for conveyance of myself and my colleague here with a Mr. Walters. I wonder if you know the gentleman.
That layabout. Oh, I know him all right, but you'll not be going anywhere with him till he pays his docking fees. Nobody leaves this dock without my say-so. No docking fees, no permit to leave.
I say, Winklebottom, this Walters fellow sounds like a flaky sort of character, what?
Well, can we discuss this permit? How might we obtain a permit to allow us to leave the dock?
Well, you could get Walters to pay his docking fees, but that's not likely to happen. Tell you what, I'm a bit short-staffed today. So if you help me with repairing this ship, I'll give you a permit.
Manual labour? Don't much like the sound of that. I have a surgeon's hooves, don't you know?
Well, what can we do to help?
I can do the actual work, but I've run out of wood. I need some planks or something.
Very well, we shall obtain some wood for you.
Also, this barrel of tar here is solidified. I don't need much, but I need a way to melt some of it.
Some way to melt the tar, I see.
Shouldn't be a problem for a genius like you, eh, what?
There's a way to slow down the course a little bit. Yes there is. That feels a little bit better.
Right then, Frumple, let's see what we can do about getting hold of this permit. Ah, perhaps this is the vessel Mr. Walters will be using to convey us to Guilfry's Island.
Dash well hope not, what with that blasted great hole in the side of it.
A boat hook. This should come in handy. Excuse me, sir. Would you mind? I say, there's really no need.
Fearsome looking blind.
Okay, so they still don't want to cooperate. Well, this should get us the key, I imagine.
This seems unlikely.
Oh, maybe I need to go up here first.
Ah, yes, this seems to be just the ticket. Perhaps I should keep this hook for collecting out-of-reach leaves. Right then, this should do the trick.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir. Right then, let's see what that bleeder has been up to in my pub.
Wouldn't fancy being in that fellow's shoes, eh?
Now let's see if we can't get this window open. No, it's no good. Stuck fast.
Give it another go. Probably just been painted over.
Well, if you say so, just one more... Oh dear, well that didn't go entirely according to plan. How awfully embarrassing.
Still got the job done, what?
You know, I really do feel absolutely terrible about this. Still nothing to be done now, I suppose.
Hmm.
No, sorry. I want to open the window, not smash it. I should just use my hooves.
You'll bleeding well pay for this, Walters. Look what you've done. This bleeding barrel is bleeding well empty now. Get out, you hear?
Keep your snout out of me business. I be leaving in me own time. I won't be taking no orders from a landlubber like you.
I say, Frumple, this is the chap who's going to sail us to the island?
Fellow looks like he's barely able to stand, let alone sail a ship.
I say, it is rather chilly in here, what?
Yeah, it's colder than Poseidon's drawers in here.
Oh, for goodness sake. I'll have to light the bleeding fire now.
A roaring hot fire.
Gives the place a rather cosy feel, eh, what?
Hmm. You know, I have an idea. Might be just crazy enough to walk.
No.
No?
I have reservations.
Okay, I thought maybe putting some tar. Well, I guess if it needs warmed up to get out, I guess it's not really gonna get out.
I say, barkeep, would you mind awfully if I took this empty barrel?
You'd be doing me a favour. That beer-soaked bulldog has emptied it anyway.
Damned if I can figure out where you keep all this stuff, Winklebottom. Shifty looking sort, if you ask me.
What makes you say that? He seems like a perfectly fine gentleman to me.
Can't rightly say. Something about primates. It's the eyes, I think. Something in them is almost not animal.
Not animal.
Get your bleeding hooves off. I mean, would you mind leaving that where it is, please, sir? I lose a dozen of those a day to these thieving bleeders.
I say, Winklebottom, this fella looks like a bit of a bore, eh, what?
Yes, very good, Frumple. I presume this is the landlord's wife.
Ah, yes. Handsome looking sow, isn't she?
Since the landlord is looking the other way, perhaps I might borrow this for a moment. I'll be sure to return it, naturally.
Fella's probably used to things going walkabout in this place anyway.
Oh, he'll steal that, but not the jewelry.
A painting of a ship. It's perhaps not the most refined piece of artwork I've seen.
Probably for the best. I wouldn't have anything valuable in this place, not with their clientele.
I have no idea what these are for, but they look terribly nautical.
Hey, get your pilfering paws off those glasses. They be mine, you hear? Oi, what is it?
Greetings, my good man.
Well, spit it out. What be you wanting, stranger?
You are Salty Walters, I take it?
That I am, and don't you be forgetting it neither.
Then you want to take us to the Isle of Barghest.
Nope, I be staying here with me drinks. I'll not be sailing today. Not for you nor anybody else.
I say, you rotter, we have tickets, you know. Paid for in advance.
Nar.
Well, goodbye then.
Fellow seems more than a little worse for wear, thanks to all that beer.
Oi, what is it?
Well, goodbye.
Fellow seems more than a little worse.
Oh, wait. No, I just realized I used the thing to bring some of the fire with me.
Now to heat this poker up somewhat. Yes, this has done the trick splendidly.
Be careful with that thing, don't want to burn a hole in your britches.
What a wise crackle.
Right then, Frumble, just watch this. Yes, the hot poker is melting through the tar like butter.
Oh, what a noxious niff. Let's get rid of this stuff quickly.
This is just what I need. I could use this to waterproof the repair.
Here you are, a barrel. It's made of wood.
It's a good effort, but I can't very well plug this hole with a whacking great barrel now, can I? Maybe if you broke it up or something.
Excuse me, sir, would... I say, there's...
Fearsome looking blood.
No, I don't think... I'm really not sure. I have reservation... no. Lord Winklebottom committing I'm really not sure what... No, I don't think... I'd really rather...
How can I help you, sir?
I wonder what you can tell us about the sailor who's been slumped over that table over there.
The bane of my bleeding existence, that's what he is. He's cleared me out. Can you believe it? Drunk all me bleeding beer he has.
Very bothersome, I'm sure. I say, old boy, would you mind awfully letting us have that jug of rum you have sitting on the bar over there?
Well, I suppose you did help me get back into my pub. Fine, you can have the bleeding thing. On the house, like.
Well, thank you.
Very good, sir.
We should take our reward with us. I have reservation.
It might be for the board then.
Here you are then, sir, some alcohol. Perhaps this will quench your thirst.
I say, he nearly ripped your blasted hoof off.
Well, that seems to have calmed him down considerably. But I can't help but feel we aren't really helping the poor wretch here. Now this fellow has calmed down, I'm sure he won't object to us borrowing his saw. You see, doesn't mind a bit. Now, Frumple, you hold onto the barrel, and I'll attempt to chop it up.
I don't think that's gonna go so well.
Careful where you're waving that thing. No other doctor's around to patch me up if you slip, you know.
I say, old chap, a moment of your... Well then.
Yeah.
Will this do the job?
Ah, yes. This'll do nicely. I could use this wood for me repairs. Thank you for that, fellas. Now I can repair the hole in this boat. First class job. Even if I do say so myself.
Well, nobody else is likely to.
Well, with that done, I'm finished for the day, so you're both free to go. Give this permit to Walters and let him know his debt is cleared. This time.
Okay. That's
Oi, what is it?
Well, goodbye.
Fellow seems more than a little worse.
So yeah, it looks like we get a few slots, so that's good. Okay.
Oi, what is it?
I say, old boy, we have a permit here. You're free to leave the docks whenever you wish.
Does that long neck of yours make you hard of hearing or something? I already said I'll not be leaving here while I still have me drinks.
I say, this is just too much. You, sir, are a cad, a bounder, a dashed rotter, hang it all.
Steady on there, old boy.
Now look here, you bounder. We have tickets and you will jolly well sail us out to that island. Dash it all.
I won't be sailing today. I drinks me beer to wash away the terrible taste of the salty seawater. Hates it, I does. I'll not be sailing again for a while now that I've got that accursed taste out of me system.
Ironic that a man named Salty should hate the taste of seawater so, isn't it, Frumple?
Dashed inconvenient if you ask me.
You are Salty Walters, I take it?
That I am.
Then you want to take us to...
Nope, I be...
I say you're rot.
Nah.
Well, goodbye then.
Fellow seems more than a little worse.
I'm really not sure, but this seems unlikely. No. I'm really not sure what the plan is here. No. I don't know about you, Frumple, but I'm a touch perturbed about the competence of our sozzled sailor.
Chap must be completely half cut if he's drunk that lot.
How can I help you, sir?
I wonder what you can tell us about the sailor. Very bothersome. Well,
Very good.
a roaring hot.
Gives the place a run.
Yar! What terrible siren song be that? Last orders are upon us already. Quake, you rapacious rapscallion. I've been eating more beer. Just 1 minute. Don't think you can pinch me point just because I be looking the other way. That be mine, you great thieving scallywag. Who's off it? Ah, 'twas but a false alarm.
Do you mind, sir? I'm serving this fellow at the...
These are made by the finest craft sauces.
Oh, I did not mean to hit that.
I say, old chap, a moment of your time. Well then, thank you. I might be able to get some seawater in this if only I could get it low enough. It's no good, the rope can't get any purchase. I've tied the rope through the handle of this jug. Now I'll lower the jug down on this rope and yes, we now have a jug full to the brim with salty seawater. A long implement with a hook on the end.
Yar! What terrible... Quake, you rapacious rat.
Quickly, while he's not looking, just pour this into his beer.
Yar! What be this foul flavour? Oh, me last beer is ruined, and that picaroon pig won't sell me no more.
Do I take it you might now be willing to carry out your job?
No reason not to now. Maybe the Admiral can see his way to providing me with a bit of the old grog. Go way back, him and me.
Join me to the docks then.
Aye, I'd be waiting at me vessel. Make it quick, mind you.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
My word, there appears to be a storm coming in. We must make haste and get out of the island before it hits.
Oh shit, we're gonna get in that?
Wait, you don't mean this is your ship?
Aye, that it be? And what of it?
I just don't think it looks particularly seaworthy.
She's a fine vessel. Served me on many a long voyage, she has. Besides, I be the only sailor for hire in the dock right now, so you don't have a choice.
That's not terribly reassuring.
Shall we set sail for the island then?
Aye, that we will. All me permits are in order, so all aboard for the Isle of Barghest.
Well, I don't see this going well. How the hell is this thing even fucking sailing with a giraffe and a hippo in it? Like, realistically, wouldn't this thing, like, probably capsize?
Hold on, I'm coming.
Made it at last. Madam, would you be so kind as to let your master know?
Oh, sir, it's terrible. A tragedy. The master, he's dead.
I say what?
It's true, sir. Oh, the poor master. I found him, sir, just floating there in his tube. Stiff as a board he was. Oh, it was horrible.
Gilfrey, dead? But this doesn't make any sense. He was in the prime of his life. The fellow was as strong as an ox.
A very tiny ox, anyway. I say, old chap, I am sorry.
We should take a look just to be certain. Madam, Dr. Frumple here will want to examine the poor fellow.
And if there's even a hint of foul play, you can be certain that Lord Winklebottom will get to the bottom of it.
Oh, my lord, thank God you're here. The master spoke of you often.
Tell me, who else is in the house?
Well, my lord, there's the staff. That's myself and Ambrose, the butler. The gong over there should summon him. Also Pumphrey, the gardener, though he's been moping around outside of late. Miserable old sod he is. Oh, sorry, my lord.
Anybody else?
Oh, yes, my lord. There are a great many guests here today. The master had a big announcement to make, he said.
Right, Frumple, we should have a look at poor Gilfrey, then introduce ourselves to the other guests. Thank you, madam, you've been most helpful.
You're welcome, my lord. Have you any luggage with you? I can have Ambrose take it upstairs for you.
Alas, no, we lost most of our possessions on the journey over here. Our means of conveyance turned out to be a touch unstable.
It was all I could do to keep hold of me tea.
So we lost all the stuff we had, okay. So we didn't keep any of it.
Ah, a portrait of the great fellow himself.
Distinguished looking chap, eh, Winklebottom?
A painting of Gilfrey's only daughter, Constance. This is a portrait of Gilfrey's late wife, Ethelberta. She died tragically young a few years ago.
How did she die, anyway?
It was a terrible incident involving an airship.
I say, crashed with her on board?
No, she flew too close to the propellers and, well, you can imagine the rest.
Oh, grisly way to go.
Another fine piece of artwork from Gilfrey's collection. Another fine piece of artwork.
I say, Winklebottom, that fellow must have been going like a bomb when you ran into that wall, what?
I think I've heard that one before, and it's not in very good taste.
I suppose when you think about it, it is quite an odd tradition. A little morbid, in fact. Look, the poor fellow even has some of his clothing still on him.
This chap is beyond even your skills, I fear. Let's leave him be. It would be prudent to alert someone on the mainland to the death. Hello? Operator? Aye, yes, hello. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to connect me to Scotland Yard. Inspector Culver's office, if you please. Yes, thank you. What the devil? The lights have gone out.
What on earth was all that about?
I'm not sure. I say, the telephone line has gone dead. And look at this.
Crikey, that's a bit of a mess. What could have done this?
Well, one thing's for sure, we're not going to be able to contact the mainland until we can get this repaired.
What the f...
A bust of the great Caesar. Gilfrey was most interested in ancient history.
Good grief, look at his eyes. They look even more soulless than the real thing.
What is it with you and primates, Frumple? A bust of the great composer, Beethoven.
Not just a great composer, but an excellent at tricks too, you know. I hear he was an expert at rolling over. Oh, I say, a gong. Shall I gong it?
I'm not entirely convinced that
Gong.
You don't actually need to say gong, you know.
Oh, well, I suppose, but where's the fun in that?
Strange, the maid said this would call the butler, but he's nowhere to be seen.
That is kind of sus.
A portrait of Vetus Varnus.
Maybe somebody Gilfrey knew from his military days. Looks like a pretty tough, brave sort to me, at any rate.
Seems like a most agreeable fellow. I say, Frumple, this is a portrait of King Alec, a most popular monarch in his day.
Oh, indeed so. A very good old boy, as I understand it.
Quite so, Frumple. A good boy indeed. A painting of one Max the Tux Sheldon. I say, didn't this fellow help us out on a case once?
Indeed so. Quite a respectable chap now, but had a bit of a murky past, I recall.
Yes, gave us some information about a particularly loathsome fellow who'd been running a smuggling ring.
Well, first thing we should do is check the body. So let's just
The guest bedrooms are all down here. I suppose we should investigate.
Don't know why we bother. Even the daftest criminal isn't stupid enough to leave incriminating evidence lying around his own bedroom.
Oh, we're not doing that quite yet.
Well, that was a bally waste of time. What did I tell you?
I know, old friend, but we had to do it.
Oh. Study.
Ah, I do believe I've met this gentleman, a fellow by the name of Tobin.
Wily looking chap. I dare say he would have a tale or two to tell.
Indeed so, quite the talented wordsmith too. He throws around some most impressive verbiage. This is a self-portrait, apparently, of a fellow by the name of Lake Cabilius, a renowned scientist and explorer.
Maybe a colleague of Gilfrey's.
Perhaps so. I believe I may have met the chap once at a party held by him and his husband. Very good food, as I recall. This tube is part of the network of pipes Gilfrey used to get around the house. Being amphibious, he preferred to stay in these as much as possible.
Ingenious system, mind you.
Where's his womb?
From what I recall, this door leads to the attic. Sadly, it appears to be...
Why do people insist on locking doors all over the place? Most inconvenient. Nobody ever considers us.
I rather imagine Gilfrey wasn't expecting to die, so probably wasn't anticipating our investigation.
Well, yes, I suppose the whole thing is rather more inconvenient for him.
Perhaps we could discuss the other people who are here.
I say, I gonged that gong over there and your butler fellow didn't show up.
Well, he is a bit on the slow side, but he's quite reliable. I hope nothing's happened to him.
Who else is on the staff here?
Other than Ambrose, there's just Pumphrey, the gardener. Such a shame to see the house so low on staff. Oh, my lord, you should have seen the...
Used to be more of you, eh?
Oh, yes, sir. It's really just a skeleton staff now. The master was away so much on his travels. More so since the mistress passed away. He doesn't need a full staff these days, I'm afraid.
Need to be careful I hit the...
I say, I gonged...
Well, he is a...
Who else is on the staff?
Other than Ambrose, there's just Pumphrey, the gardener. Such a shame to see the house so low on staff.
Yeah.
Oh, my lord, you should have seen the place where my mistress was still alive.
Used to be...
Oh, yeah.
I
Ah,
say,
crap, I
Well,
didn't
he's a
mean to
bit
go
on the-
through it
Who else is
again.
on?
Other than...
used to be...
Oh, yes.
What can you tell me about the guests here?
I don't know any of them well. It's the first time we've had guests since the mistress died. God rest her soul. You're the last to arrive, so you'll find them all around the house.
Thank you very much. Do you know why we've all been invited here?
Oh, I'm sorry, my lord. I don't. The master was being most mysterious about it. Something to do with his research, I'd fancy, but it's all beyond me.
That'll be all for now, madam.
Ah, no.
Oh, just look at him, Frumple. Died in his house tube network. It simply doesn't make any sense. He was such a hardy fellow.
If we can get him out, I'll determine what killed him. Never you fear.
Nothing to be done for the poor fellow until we can drain the water, I fear.
We shall have to get him out of there if I'm to do an autopsy. Can't very well determine the cause of death just by gawping him through the glass, you know.
Okay.
I say, look at this, old boy. It's Gilfrey and I during our school days. Ah, those were happy times.
Not for me. Couldn't abide school. The other boys used to make fun of my name. Dumple, they'd call me. The rotters.
Puzzle now.
You know, Frumple, I'm not sure we have all the information we need to crack this puzzle.
I agree.
Greetings.
Ah, Winklebottom, isn't it? I've written reports about your exploits for my newspaper.
Oh really? And which of our adventures have you covered?
Sorry, old thing. Not sure I recognize you.
Frumple? Dr. Frumple? You said you'd covered our cases.
Oh, that's right. You're the gentleman's gentleman, yes?
We're partners. Equal partners. Blasted hack.
All right, Frumple. Pleased to meet you, sir, but I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage.
Winslet's the name, old thing.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
I say, it's true what they say, then, about you preferring to walk on all fours. Bit old-fashioned these days, what?
I just happen to think it's rather more refined.
Plus he'd bash his bonds on the ceiling if he tried to walk in the modern style.
And how do you know Gilfrey? Do you know why you're invited here today?
In reverse order, not a blasted clue, and I'm engaged to his daughter Constance.
Ooh, wait. But his daughter's a duck.
You're a journalist, you say. Could that be the reason you're here?
Might be, old boy. The old fellow wasn't entirely taken with me, truth be told, but if he wanted somebody to get the word out about something, I'd certainly fit the bill.
You didn't get along with Gilfrey then?
Well, I mean, I've never actually met him, you understand. This is the first time Constance has brought me to the island. But I'm sure he wouldn't approve of me. Crikey, my own family don't, so why would somebody else's?
So you're engaged to young Constance over there.
Oh, Winklebottom, I'm a changed cat since meeting her. I was quite the party animal, but fair to say, she's tamed me.
You didn't get on with the Admiral, though.
It was nothing he said, you understand, but I don't think he approved. Don't have a lot of luck with family. Even my own disinherited me.
I say, that's rather harsh of them.
Too many parties, I suppose. And being a journalist is not exactly an appropriate job for somebody of my status, you know.
Most unfortunate.
I get to keep the title. I'm a baronet, don't you know? But I'm afraid it's left me rather cash poor.
Thank you for your time. A relic of the Great Frog Wars. Gilfrey was most fond of ancient history.
I say, that axe he's carrying would do you a real mischief if you got on the wrong end of it.
Greetings. You must be Miss Gilfrey. Our most sincere condolences on your sad loss.
If it isn't Lord Winklebottom. Father talked about you often, and you must be Mr. Frumple?
Doctor, actually. That is, I mean, sorry for your loss, miss.
First mother and now this. I think we must have done something unspeakable in a past life to suffer so much pain in this one. Don't you agree, Lord Winklebottom?
There has been some terrible tragedy here, I agree, but I fear there may be some more earthly causes for the most recent one, at least.
You think there's villainy at work here?
We don't know yet, however his death was quite a shock, as far as I know he was fit as a fiddle before he died. In any case, Dr. Frumple will be able to tell us more.
I think, if you don't mind, I'd just like to be left alone for a while.
Goodbye for now, Miss Gilfrey. Let's take these with us.
Indeed, it will be sheer folly to leave them. I say, sheer folly, because they're...
Yes, I understood. Actually, I believe they're secateurs. My word, this plant really does look frightfully tasty. Oh dear, how awfully embarrassing. I do hope that wasn't an important clue. I really am awfully embarrassed about this, you know. I really am. I once knew a chap who was killed after getting trapped in one of those. Sir Bumbles the Second. Very nasty way to go. I have no idea what this app is, and I'm certainly not going to touch it, but I know it's safe. Maybe if we could find out more about it. A cactus, covered in dozens of needles.
I'm keeping well away. Got a dreadful phobia of needles, don't you know?
Doesn't that rather interfere with your work as a doctor?
Not at all. I just close my eyes when I use them, that's all. It's very common fear, you know. Most of my patients scream when they see me with one.
Greetings, sir.
Ah, hello, my child. I am most pleased to make your acquaintance at this sad time.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Lord Winklebottom III, and this is my colleague, Dr. Reginald Frumple.
Bless you, my children. I am Reverend Archibald Peabody.
Do you know any of the other guests?
I believe I may have seen Madame Lavinia at some interfaith conference or other, but not to speak to. Other than that, I'm afraid not.
Do you know why Gilfrey invited you here today?
I'm afraid I wouldn't know. I've not heard from him for a few years until just recently when he wrote to me out of the blue. I know he had something to announce, but I'm afraid I don't know what.
It is most intriguing, to be sure. Well, thank you for your time, Reverend.
Oh, yes, quite so, my boy, quite so.
Ah, this chap is Lord Malcolm Schmidt. I've met him in the house a number of times. A great speaker, although I'm not sure all of it makes a good deal of sense.
Looks most distinguished.
Generally, yes, though not so much when food is around. He can get quite raucous at times.
That's a human hand.
A sporting trophy won by Gilfrey. He was always such a strong, fit chap.
Won a few sporting trophies myself in my youth, you know. Came second in the all boys egg and spoon race back at the old academy. They let me keep the spoon. Had to give back the anchor mind.
Oh. Yeah.
A sporting trophy won by...
Won a few sporting trophies myself in my youth, you know. Came second in the all boys egg and spoon race back at the old academy. They let me keep the spoon. Had to give back the anchor mind. Matron only laid it that morning.
An award for Amphibian of the Year. A finer amphibian you could never hope to meet, eh, Frumple? A collection of books, nothing of any great interest right now. Ah, look at this, it's Gilfrey and Ethelbert on their wedding day. A splendid time was had by all, I can assure you, Frumple. Such a tragedy Ethelbert had passed away so young.
Yes, terrible business. Just terrible.
Ah, look at him here, the pride of the Admiralty. They say he had the sea running through his veins.
I say, Winklebottom, I wonder if these chaps know what happened to Gilfrey.
You could ask, but I doubt they'd hear, and I don't suppose they saw anything anyway, and if they did, they wouldn't say. One of those newfangled gramophone players. The music plays through this trumpet.
Modern technology is wonderful. Just look how tiny it is.
Now, let us have a look in here.
Oh, just some papers. How boring.
Not inherently so, but in this case, yes. They don't seem to be of any great interest. Although it does seem odd that they're in such a mess. It's almost as if somebody had been rummaging through them in a hurry.
Best way, in my opinion, gets it out of the way. I much prefer reading things with nice pictures in them. Medical books have some excellent drawings.
One would hope that you at least glance at the words, mind you.
So somebody dug some papers out. Hey, so he died in the drawing room.
Ugh, this bed is absolutely filthy. Rumble, what do you make of this?
Looks like some kind of slime or mucus. I'd say this bed is used by a mollusk of some sort. Filthy buggers.
This looks like a child's doll. It seems to be a cuddly axolotl.
Bit of an odd thing to keep around.
I saw a thing separating. Ooh, excuse me. So, try the kitchen next.
At least we know we can make more tea if we need to.
Ah, that's a relief. I feel like I've been nursing this cup for hours now. Though I'll make it next time and put the tea in first like you meant to.
I can't just cause them to spontaneously combust.
When I was in the Calf Scouts, we'd make fires by rubbing twigs together.
I see, and do you have any twigs handy?
Ugh, you don't have to poo-poo all my ideas, you know.
Oh my god. Frumple, look at this. This is terrible.
What? What is it?
They're keeping red wine in the refrigerator. This is sacrilege.
Oh, is that all? I thought you found something important.
Is that considered bad?
A block of butter. Might be useful. It's rock solid, however.
I like it when it's solid. Easier to take a bite out of it, you know.
What? Are you taking a bite out of it?
It's surprising how often a good sharp knife comes in handy during an investigation. A bowl of fruit. You know what they say, Frumple, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Well, doesn't seem to have worked, does it?
Frumple, you're the food expert. Do you think we should take this with us?
As you wish, but don't expect me to know what to do with it. I'm rather more interested in the end result than the process, you know.
Just some odds and ends, nothing useful. Just some crockery. Nothing of interest in here. Oh, there are some matches in this box. I'll take these, or rather this. There only seems to be one match left. Just open this hatch.
Ugh, blasted thing won't stay open.
This door appears to be locked, most irritating.
Yes, quite so. Wonder where it leads to.
Two locked doors, an attic and a side door in the kitchen.
Greetings, madam.
What's that, young man? Speak up!
I said greetings, madam.
No, it's no good. No diction. That's the problem with you young people. You need to learn to project, my boy.
We're not going to get very far here, Winklebottom. My diagnosis is the old bird is deaf as a post.
I'm so glad to have you here, Frumple. I've no idea how I would manage without your expert opinion on such matters.
Oh, thank you, old thing.
Thank you for your time, madam.
What's that? Move your head closer. I can't hear you all the way up there.
I say, Winklebottom, do you know who this is? It's Dame Celia Wellington Boot.
I'm sure I have no idea.
But she's famous. Dame Celia was a star of the stage. I had quite the crush on her as a young calf.
Well, I imagine not too popular anymore, I imagine. Do we?
Dame Celia's haberdashery bag. Knitting, sewing, wool, threads and such like. I believe these are used to see into the future. Rather a pity they can't see into the past, so we could find out what happened to Gilfrey. I say, Frumple, I can see a mist starting to form in this.
No, old boy, that's just your monocle steaming up because of the heat from the fire.
Oh, then we probably shan't get any answers this way. I suppose a tiny nibble wouldn't hurt.
Careful, old thing, you'll get your head stuck in that vase.
I say, you're right. Yes, my head goes all the way in. I can eat the stalks too. Greetings.
You are Lord Winklebottom, are you not?
I say, that's amazing. Did you see all that in your crystal ball? Or a message from the spirits, perhaps?
No, I saw an article about you in the newspaper earlier today.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose that would also work.
Anyway, I am very pleased to meet you. I am Madame Lavinia, and I am a spirit medium.
Well, quite. What can you tell me about Gilfrey?
Oh, that poor soul. Such tragedy in this household. First my dear Ethelberta, and now Aristotle. Their daughter must be devastated.
Quite so. Very sad business all round. Very sad.
What's your connection to Gilfrey?
I've known Ethelberta since she was a duckling. I've I've no idea why darling Aristotle invited me today, though. None at all.
What can you tell us about the lady sat over there?
Oh, I can't get a word out of her. The old bat needs some sort of hearing aid, if you ask me.
These modern hearing aids are a miracle of science. Some are barely larger than a briefcase, you know.
Thank you for your time. This tube is part of the network of pipes Gilfrey used to get around the house. Being amphibious, he preferred to stay in these as much as possible.
Ingenious system, mind you.
I'm not going to open these, it'll let a terrible draft. Dame Sealy's haberdashery bag. Knitting, sewing, wool, threads and such like. This painting is called Adventure Awaits, apparently.
Personally, I could do with a bit less adventure in my life.
If I turn the hands, I can make the clock chime.
Nothing appeared to have changed.
There's nothing left to eat in this vase.
You're addicted, man.
A roaring hot fire, very cosy. We should make sure to fully interrogate everybody inside the house before venturing outside.
And besides, I wouldn't much fancy my chances in that storm anyway.
Okay. Let's see. We peeked in the bathroom, but didn't really see if,
Part of Gilfrey's pipe network. This one must have allowed him to easily get into the bath.
Looks like great fun. Would be better with a mud pit at the end of it, though.
Different seats for small, medium and large posteriors. Saves accidents with smaller animals falling in the bowl. Most considerate. I don't wish to go right now, and certainly not with Frumple standing here. Just a swift pull and the water flushes away.
Isn't modern science wonderful? Look at this. Silly beggars have put the toilet roll on the wrong way round.
You know, between this and the tea fiasco, I sometimes feel like I barely know who you are
anymore. I never understood the whole toilet argument. The toilet paper argument's always been weird to me.
I'll just take this.
You know, I can prescribe medication if you need it. You don't have to go around stealing drugs from dead people.
It's an empty bottle, Frumple. This might prove useful.
Absolutely not. Why, if you take that, people won't be able to wash their hooves after their ablutions. Absolutely filthy. No, I won't allow it.
Greetings, good sir.
Ulysses Spode of Spode, and Flabbernacle. At your service, sir.
What a ludicrous collection of names that is.
Quite so, Frumple. And what part do you play in today's events?
Don't rightly know, sir. Old Gilfrey wanted me to come and observe, he said. Worried there might be a spot of bother about whatever it was he was announcing.
Legal bother, you mean?
As you say. Wouldn't tell me in advance what the whole bally palaver was all about, though. I suppose now we'll never know.
Well, perhaps.
So, since I'm here anyway and the old boy has popped off, Might as well sort through his paperwork and make sure everything is in order. Lots to sort out when somebody dies, you know. Especially somebody as rich as him.
We shall speak more later.
Always here if you need me.
Greetings, dear lady.
Oh, hello.
I am Lord Winklebottom III, and this is my companion, Dr. Frumple.
I'm Vivian. Dr. Vivian Price.
You're a doctor.
Yes. Well, sort of. Not medicine. Geology. And physics. Also biology and linguistics. A few things.
Yes, well, medicine is difficult, especially for a, well, you know.
Frumple.
Oh, don't worry. I'm used to that sort of reaction.
What do you know of the other people in the house?
Not very much, I'm afraid. I haven't really spoken to anybody. I don't even know the staff all that well. I tried talking to the gardener earlier, but he was in a frightful temper.
You mentioned the gardener was in a bad mood. Do you know why?
Oh, well, he's always kind of grumpy, you know, but he seemed perfectly livid last time I saw him. Thought he was being given the sack, I think. Something about a vegetable patch. You should probably ask him.
Thank you, miss. Looks like our dear friend Inspector Culver has solved another case. It seems this was an international case. He was aided by a foreign chap named Inspector Waffles.
Inspector Waffles? Wait, that's another game that Wit Arts actually published. That's interesting. So, does this take place in the same universe?
I'd rather go for a waffle right now.
Is there any time you couldn't?
Tail.
Might come in useful, I suppose. This must be a baby photograph of Constance.
Look at her little bow.
We could spend days looking through these books. Maybe if we had something specific to search for. This tube is part of the nebula.
Ingenious system.
The sign next to this light says, "Warning, do not open pressure valve when pump is powered."
Maybe just a slight turn, just to see what happens.
No, Frumple? Let's give this a turn and see if we can't drain the system to get Gilfrey out of there.
Wait, we can't do this while the water pumps are turned on. We'd probably flood the house. Or, at the very least, I might get water in me tea.
Photographs from some of Gilfrey's expeditions.
Chap suddenly got around a bit, didn't he? Oh, I say, this is a bit risque.
I've never understood why mole rats are so averse to wearing clothing like any normal animal.
Bunch of exhibitionists, if you ask me.
A photograph from one of Gilfrey's...
Chap suddenly got around a bit, didn't he?
A small blade used for opening letters.
My God, Winklebottom, this might be it. The murder weapon.
Other than there being no blood in the water, this blade barely being sharp enough to break paper, let alone flesh, and the fact the murderer would have to dry it off and place it back in his desk after using it, rather than just taking it with him, yes, I'd say this fits the facts rather well.
Nobody likes you when you act like a blasted clever clogs, you know.
On top of all that, we don't even know that this is a murder yet.
Yes, you've made your point.
A notepad. Looks like the top page has been torn off.
Oh, you know what this means. Quick, give me a pencil. I'm going to rub over it and reveal what was written on the torn-off sheet. This is my favourite.
Here you go, then.
It's working, it's working.
Let me see now. 1 dozen eggs, 1 lettuce, a quart of milk. Well done, Frumple. You've uncovered an old shopping list.
Oh, how disappointing.
Oh, still a shot, right?
Oh, look. This is a map of the island. This will come in useful, I'm sure. Let's take one of these envelopes. I've already got one of these envelopes. I don't really think this diving suit would fit me. I say, Frumple, look, there's an imprint here. Somebody must have dropped something in the wet mud. From the shape, I deduce...
It's very obviously a key. There's no need to act so badly clever about it, you know?
As you say, a key. Somebody must have dropped a key into the wet mud and it's left an almost perfect impression.
I wonder what is a key for?
But I'd really rather not. Used in the preparation of food, somehow. It's no good, we won't get anywhere in this weather. We'll have to wait until the storm clears up. I say, Frumple, what on earth was that?
Some kind of commotion coming from the drawing room, I think.
Quickly, we must investigate. Quick, Frumple, to the orangery. Miss Gilfrey is in grave danger. Miss Gilfrey, what is it? Whatever is the matter?
Oh, Lord Winklebottom, it was terrible. A simply frightful thing.
I say, steady on. What are you talking about?
Out there, Dr. Frumple, out in the dark, it was a creature, a thing. I've never seen such a ghastly sight.
Are you sure, Miss Gilfrey? Could it perhaps have been Mr. Walters returning to his boat?
It wasn't a person, Lord Winklebottom. It wasn't an animal at all. It was wet and hairless and... oh, God, that face. I shall never forget it.
What now? Please, try to be calm, Miss Gilfrey. We must investigate.
What the hell is going on?
Oh, sirs, thank goodness you're here. He just burst in, soaking wet and ranting and raving about a monster.
Gah! A foul, fearsome beast! Away! Away with you!
Poor fellow looks in a bad way. Frumple?
Chap seems delusional. We should get him into bed for some rest.
Came at me out the trees, a malign monster! Ah! 'Tis after me! 'Tis after me!
Looks like he needs a good rest.
He can use one of the beds in the servants' quarters. I'm sure Ambrose won't object.
Right then, Frumple, let's help get him into bed.
As long as I don't have to get too close, he smells like a blessed brewery.
Come on then, old chap. Right, we got the fellow settled. Should be right as rain soon.
As long as the bar guest doesn't come for him.
I say what?
Oh, never mind me, sir. Just a silly fancy.
Did you say bar guest? Like the name of this island?
It's daft, really, I suppose, but the bar guest is a ferocious monster sent to roam the island at night. He's part dog, part monster. They say that anybody who sees it will surely die soon after.
Sounds like a pretty disagreeable chap, what? That's a poppycock, mind you.
Well, one last thing, sirs, if it pleases you. In all the commotion, Madame Lavinia has misplaced her crystal ball. Says it's been stolen. Would you believe it?
Dash careless of her.
I've promised to keep an eye out for anything suspicious out here, but maybe you could go and talk to her.
Very well, we shall see what the problem is.
on.